if I had kids, my kids would hate me because something would have had to suffer and it would have probably been them.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're looking at famous people who are child-free and plan on staying that way. This list is not a ranking.
You do not need to push out a baby to help push humanity forward.
Margaret Cho.
I am bone dry. When I see children, I feel nothing.
Known for works like All American Girl, 30 Rock, and Face Off, this sharp-tongued comedian never minces her words when it comes to the topic of motherhood. Although her own mother is the subject of many of her stand-up routines, and she considers herself a mother to her queer friends. Cho has no interest in birthing a child.
Now you're tackling menopause, which a lot of women don't think is funny. But you find the humor.
The best thing that's ever happened to me.
The best thing?
The best thing, because I can wear white shorts all the time.
In her 2003 comedy album Revolution, she jokes about being completely apathetic towards children. However, she later opened up about experiencing a pregnancy loss.
I'm not a breeder. I have no maternal instincts whatsoever.
Now, the actress and musician is an outspoken advocate for women's reproductive rights. Nick Offerman and Megan Mullally. Need tips on how to be a power couple? Look no further than Nick Offerman and Megan Mullally. The two have been married since 2003 and are going stronger than ever.
Marry a goddess is one important tip. But then stick with it, you know? If the years go by and you see that something's being taken for granted, say, hey, let me surprise you or let me do something for you, and just pay attention.
As for the secret to their everlasting happiness, it's maintaining proximity and not having children. In an interview with GQ, the Will and Grace actress revealed that she never really aspired to be a mother.
And then we just start talking about this, you know, families or religion or whatever the chapter was about and whatever the topic was, and then that's what the book is. It's kind of like interview magazine style. It's just us having a real conversation.
Although she tried to have a child with Nick, they did not conceive. However, not being able to experience parenthood was not an earth-shattering matter for them. The couple moved on and seemed to have no regrets.
Nick has to make the love 5 to 6 times a day, so...
Whoa!
Withholding would mean 3 to 4.
Yeah, we gotta get going.
Anna Kendrick.
I will always feel children aren't for me.
Yeah.
Stand by that?
Well, you know, if I have kids, it's just another kid that your kid's gonna have to fight when the water wars come.
Few celebrities have been as open and resolute about not bringing children into a world plagued by climate change and near certain doom as the Pitch Perfect star. In her 2016 book, Scrappy Little Nobody, she wrote bluntly about her decision not to have kids. However, as people continued to wonder whether she had changed her mind, she reasserted in an interview with The Guardian that she wasn't even confident about raising a cat, let alone a child.
With my genes, I don't think they'd really last. I'm worried about upper body strength, coordination. These are not things that I would pass on. So, you know, they're just gonna be food.
Speaking to women's health platform Flow Space, she also called out men who have an idealized fantasy of fatherhood, but leave the actual task of child rearing to women. Anna is a self-proclaimed childless cat lady, minus the cat, and she has no qualms about it.
That piece of you that wants to have all these emotions, you know, fly out of you, like that maybe shows up as performance.
Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi.
Portia and I have been together for almost 5 years now. We've been married for a little over a year, and every other week there's a rumor that we're having a baby. Everyone wants us to have a baby.
Hollywood's most famous lesbian couple is content being a family of 2. Portia once shared in a chat with Out magazine that while she debated having children in her 30s, she didn't want to do so solely because of societal pressure. She wasn't drawn to motherhood wholeheartedly.
There are always rumors that you and Ellen are going to have a baby.
I know.
Is there anything to that? Or is that just rumor?
You know, no, it's just one big rumor that doesn't seem to go away. But and at this point, I feel like I'm disappointing the whole of America, not just my mother.
Similarly, in 2015, Ellen opened up on Today about how much she loved kids, but added that her adoration for the little ones wasn't enough for her to commit to maternity. She went as far as to joke that this was because of the slim chance that she might not like her child.
If you can't keep track of your keys, probably you won't be able to keep track of a 2-year-old. Don't have a child.
However, it was clear that being child-free was a decision that both she and her wife had taken earnestly.
And I named him Kid because I just, people, there's been rumors forever, when are you and Portia going to have a kid? And so now I can say we have a kid.
Chelsea Handler.
I'm very outspoken about not wanting to be a parent because I don't think I have the skills that, that I'm not equipped with what it takes to answer all of those questions to children.
The renowned comedian, actress, and human rights activist is a firm believer in the inherent worth of women, regardless of whether or not they have kids. Speaking to Ross Matthews on The Drew Barrymore Show, she referred to her choice to stay childless as a, quote, favor to the world.
What if they tell you on the first date that they have kids, but they didn't include that in their online profile?
Okay, I'm not mad at that.
Okay, you're okay.
As long as you get it as, face-to-face, the first face-to-face, if they tell you the truth, then that's what the most important thing is.
On another occasion, she admitted to lacking the skills needed to raise a kid because she simply doesn't have the patience for their endless curiosity. However, just because she's not a mother doesn't mean Handler isn't surrounded by tiny tots. She often takes care of her nieces and nephews, as well as her friends' children. She's so dedicated to being a good aunt that she even took parenting lessons. Those kids must love Auntie Chelsea.
Children in my life, aside from my 8 nieces and nephews who occupy a lot of my time, I have so much bandwidth because I don't have children.
Diane Morgan, the actress who brought us the iconic Philomena Kunk, has no plans to pursue motherhood.
Adults lose the ability to see Father Christmas, so if you want to know more about him, you have to ask small adults, which are known as children.
It's a call she made at a young age and has been consistently forthright about it in interviews. In a 2017 conversation with The Guardian, she cited the pain of motherhood and the lack of advantages it came with as her reason for staying away from it.
On Twitter, I still get people going, "This presenter is terrible." She doesn't know what she's talking about.
She also didn't like the idea of children depending on their parents forever. In 2021, she spoke to The Mirror about how odd it was when people urged her to have kids so that they'll take care of her in her old age, as if that was the only purpose of an offspring to them. Clearly, Morgan's mind is made up.
You don't have to sit up here, I can take over.
I'm having a nice time. Ivy's having a nice time. This is my kind of party.
Tracy Ellis Ross. When it comes to strong female role models, few can rival the grit of this blackish star. Tracy Ellis Ross is child-free by choice, and that choice is one she made for no one but herself.
You know what? Sometimes it helps if you play the whole thing out from the other person's perspective. It'll help give you clarity so you can resolve it.
She does not subscribe to the old age idea that life only has meaning when you procreate. Per an interview she gave Glamour magazine, instead, she finds purpose in her work and in being her authentic self.
As much as grief does surface for me around not having children and not having a partner, I still wouldn't want the wrong partner.
Ross also offered the Sunday Times a logical explanation for her decision to rule out having kids, quipping about how there were too many children in this world already. The Golden Globe winning actress knows what she wants and isn't afraid to say it.
But the childless women have been mothering the world and elevating culture as aunties, godmothers, teachers, mentors, sisters.
Seth Rogen and Lauren Miller.
And Lauren's down with this too, right? She's okay.
She doesn't want kids. I would say she wants kids less than I do.
And if she had
probably
wanted
be talked into it.
The studio creator is a well-known all-rounder in Hollywood. Seth Rogen went from comedian and actor to writer, director, producer, ceramist, and author. If that wasn't enough, he also owns a cannabis business. During an appearance on The Howard Stern Show, he admitted that he's only able to juggle all his endeavors because he doesn't have children.
But they were like, how do you do so much? And the answer is, I don't have kids.
Luckily for him, his wife, actress Laura Miller, is even more disinterested in parenting. Although they both considered it in the past, in 2023, Rogan even appeared on The Kelly Clarkson Show and reaffirmed that they hadn't changed their minds and that life was much more fun without kids.
Most of my friends who are parents, God bless them, spend a lot of their time talking about how much they don't like having kids. And what me and my wife spend a lot of time talking about is how much fun stuff we can do because we don't have kids.
Patricia Clarkson. Motherhood was not always off the table for the multi-Emmy winning actress. In her late 30s, Patricia Clarkson was open to the idea of settling down with her then partner and possibly having children.
And don't worry about not making us grandparents, although we were kind of hoping you'd get knocked up so we'd have a second shot at raising kids, really do it right this time.
Bye now.
However, as time passed, she grew less confident about her ability to be a good mother, especially considering how much she loved her career. Clarkson even told The Guardian that she lacked the gene that made people want kids.
I grew up in a family of powerhouse women. I have 4 older sisters who are all in the workforce, very accomplished. I'm like the lowly actress. All my sisters are deeply accomplished.
Yeah.
And I have a powerhouse of a mother.
However, she does take pride in her role as an aunt to her sister's children. Looking back on her journey on the Table for Two podcast with Bruce Bozzi, the Sharp Object star was happy to say that she had enjoyed a, quote, sexy ass life.
40 is nothing. 50 is 50, 60. We're the hot girls in Hollywood.
Yes.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Allison Brie and Dave Franco. This couple's love story from their magical first encounter at Mardi Gras in New Orleans to exchanging vows in secret is a pure Hollywood romance.
I turn around to a young Zorro on one knee with a giant pink box, and I truly was like, ah! And he just goes, "Will you marry me?" And I was like, what?
However, their married life is not following a traditional formula. The two are doting parents to their cats, but have opted for child-free lifestyle.
That's the key, I think, being sweet and loving to each other every day and kind of not getting caught up in all of this stuff is important.
About this decision, Allison explained to the Sunday Times that she is glad she doesn't have to worry about family planning amid her busy schedule. She added that even though it would be nice, parenthood would undeniably be stressful, and the duo already has their hands full with their pets.
I know this.
Do you?
Don't we?
I think you might.
Do you feel inspired by any of these celebrities? Tell us in the comments.
I love my friends' children, probably more than they do, it seems.